going to repeat this again, and I'll do it very slowly for the First Minister's benefit. At no point have I asked him to comment on this specific case, although I do note that his Health Secretary did exactly that yesterday. Now, this madness isn't just happening within the NHS. It's in schools, it's in prisons, it's in rape crisis centres. Female pupils too scared to use shared toilets over fear of sexual intimidation or assault. A male prisoner serving life for murder in a women's prison and able to get an operation to reduce his Adam's apple. Rape victims being told they are bigots for wanting to know the sex of their counsellor. Scotland's public services waste too much time, energy and money on this nonsense, all because of SNP gender self-ID policy and legislation with the backing of Labour, the Lib Dems and the Greens. And yesterday, astonishingly, John Swinney said that he has no regrets. Does he really have no regrets about causing all this harm to women and all this cost to taxpayers?
First Minister.
I think the point that Mr Finlay skates past is the significance of the Equality Act 2010, which was enshrined, because it has to be enshrined, because we can't change the law, because it's a reserved piece of legislation, is enshrined in the legislation that this Parliament passed on gender recognition. So I've quoted to Mr Finlay the fact that the Equality Act 2010 makes provision for there to be single or separate sex facilities and for those rights to be put into practice and into place. I don't know why Mr Finlay is so determined to just keep pursuing this line of argument, which is about sowing division in our society, when the legal position is absolutely crystal clear that the Equality Act protects the ability to have single-sex spaces in our country, and Mr Finlay should accept that.
Russell Finlay.
Well, John Swinney, there's two things happening here. Either he's in a state of complete denial or he's a very good actor. I'm not sure which. The SNP focus on the issue of gender has harmed Scotland's public services. They've put their ideology before the rights of women and girls, but also before NHS waiting lists, before justice for victims, before our children's education. Anna Sarwar and the Lib Dem leader are just as culpable as the SNP. Their collective support for this nonsense confirms how utterly disconnected Parliament has become from the real world. My party believes all government time and money should be devoted to fixing Scotland's public services, not on radical fringe policies. And that's where we proudly stand. So what about John Swinney? Will he do the right thing and bin his gender ideology that is causing so much harm to our country?
First Minister.
Again, Mr Finlay ignores the point I've put to him about the significance of the Equality Act and the obligation and the underpinning of all legislation and its requirements to be compatible with the Equality Act 2010. Now, Mr Finlay asked me about my priorities, and my priorities are absolutely crystal clear. I'm in office to improve the lives of the people of Scotland by making sure that we eradicate child poverty, by making sure that we grow the economy, by making sure we make the transition to net zero and make sure that we strengthen the public services of Scotland. We've got a budget before this Parliament next Tuesday that will turn this into effect. The people who are standing in the way of that budget being approved to improve the lives of the people of Scotland, the people that are standing in the way of that budget being approved.
Let's hear the First Minister.
The people that are standing in the way of that budget being approved, the people that are not interested in improving the lives of the people of Scotland are the Conservative Party and their parade in front of Nigel Farage, who support their courting in Scotland today. So I am going to take no lessons from Russell Finlay, who has no interest in the the prospects and the future of the people of Scotland. He's only here to support division. I'm here to bring people together.